are a good eating tater. They said they'd never seen nothing like that in their life before. Them is the burniest taters that ever I raised.
Have you got a whole lot of orange taters out this time?
Not many, they ain't done no good, at least, what we got out.
Well, I tell you, mine is the best taters that I've had, and since I come over here and got them seed off you, that's the best crop taters that ever I raised.
Yeah?
Is them seed I come over here and got.
Well, I plant the little taters all the time. I don't never.
Well, them was small, and
Yeah.
you know, I come over here and got them, and I told you I'd rather have the small ones,
Yeah.
you know. And
Well, they won't rot on you.
I swear they raise taters that big.
Yeah?
I got mine frostbit 2 or 3 times this year, but boy, I planted them back way up, not just about 10th or 11th of March, but boy, I'm telling you what, they still made real.
I didn't plant mine until about the 15th of April.
That's never always plant them too, but when it seems like over there, everybody starts planting one, start the other will start.
Yeah.
And,
Lee, I ain't got the grapes this year I had last year.
boy, you had them last year, didn't you?
Oh boy, I'm telling you. Hey.
What about that bottom way down yonder? You got anything in here?
I try to rent it, nobody don't want it. That raises real good corn too, Lee.
Yes, sir, but it raised.
Maybe rent it out to you next year.
Well, I don't even know where I'll be
Or
able
you be
to-
like I am.
Yeah.
Now, there's about 5 acres down there, Lee. And the
Yeah.
5 acres claimed in this bottom here. 10 acres bottom land what we got.
I know it. Yes, sir, boy, it's a real piece of dirt down there.
When I first got this bottom land here, it wasn't sprout peas out here hardly. I sold me a cover crop on it one year, then on I just went 10 every other year. I never did take nothing off. I'd take my tiller and just crush them weeds right up, then take my plow and plow 'em
Well,
down.
what do you put on it for a cover crop?
I used that red clover, let's see, crimson clover, something like that. Well, that red top clover. That's the only time I ever put anything on it to build
That
it
old
up.
bottom over at the house, it never has, I don't reckon, had a cover crop on it. It needs one. But it still raises good stuff if you put the fertilizer to it.
Yeah?
That raises good stuff down next to that creek over at the house. That's where my main garden is this year, down next to that creek
Yeah?
there, boy. I got
Where it's
some-
damp and everything.
Yeah, the pretty stuff.
Just like
down
my corn in that. I got corn down about waist high, over, against me this morning. Saw how that corn's growing.
Boy, I put the ammonia to mine and seemed like I could tell the difference in 3 or 4 days.
it sure makes a difference in your crop, the
Yeah.
ammonia does.
Yes, sir. You first ever had any cabbage teeth?
Yeah. It wasn't good to pull these. Worms hitting my cabbage. I'm going to have to spray them. And
My old lady's crowded a whole lot of kraut, and I've still got another cabbage patch that's now coming on.
I went down to Hazard and bought me some of the hybrid cabbage plants. I just liked the ordinary plants. I said, did they make good size heads? He said, yeah. I said, they make very good size head. I decided what head they going to make, and they ain't hard yet. They're old big heads, and ain't hard yet.
Oh, mine, some of them, I got a Duke's mixture. Some of them just little old bitty things, and some of them off the side.
When the woman, she went uptown, bought her, I believe about 12 cabbage plants up there. Going back there, and you'd almost pick a briar out of your finger with the head of them. They just run in front of those sharp things you said. They don't make nothing. There's some of them out there, yeah, we should just go out there and look at them. And they're up there, that cabbage row there. That's as sharp as head ever I saw, boy. And they ain't big and nothing either. They're a little small like head. I
sowed some tomato seed last year, and I thought it was them old big yellow tomatoes, and I don't know how many neighbors around our plants and everything, and whenever they come out of them that burn little old tomatoes.
I got some just like that one time. And now, I had promised them to Jimmy. I got about 8 plants down there, Lee, them old big yellow kind.
Yeah.
If I hadn't promised to Jimmy, I'd let you have them, but I promised them to him. He won't.
I've got, that was last year I done that.
Yeah?
I've got, I think, about 90-some plants out now and got them stuck. They up that high.
Yeah? Them yellow we got, oh man, they make real big yellow tomatoes.
Yeah, boy.
But they're rough. They're not smooth tomato like any other tomato is.
Well, you take a big yaller tomato and cook your mess orange taters. I bet they
You
good.
can't beat them hardly, boy.
No. They used to, whenever we was back in the field, you know, foddering and everything,
Yeah.
they'd cook a big bucket of orange taters and bring a big old tomato, you know, and a big onion head and a piece of cornbread. Carry it to us for dinner, you know, boy, it tasted awful good.
You know what we done when we was at home and been in the field? Had our own bacon and everything.
Yeah.
Bacon is already cured out and everything. We cut us off a big piece of that, a big onion head, a big piece of cornbread. We'd take it to the field with us and wrap it up and put it where the ants couldn't get to it. Long up about 10 o'clock, we'd go that and eat it. And the same way that eating, we'd take some and eat that raw meat and onion and bread.
Dad said one time that Grandpap was a plowing and him and Hodge is a hoeing corn. And said Grandpap was a plowing an old big gray horse. And
Yeah, I remember that.
said Hodge had been working a little bit over in Stone Iggy, Virginia.
Yeah?
Said that sun was getting just as hot as it could be, and he's over in a big swag, you know. Said, and Grandpap had went around to the end, you know. Said, and Hodge said, let's go to Stone Iggy. Said, they just throwed their hoes and took right off the mountain, buddy. Well, Grandpap, he was out to the end resting, I think it was, and they got up there about 8 Leah's Whitaker somewhere, and Grandpap come around through there plowing, and he looked to see them going up the road. Dad said it weren't but a few minutes till Grandpap said, hey, said, wait there. Said, on his way out of the hill, he got him about 4 or 5 of them old big seasoned grubs, you know, and had them in his head. He said he took it time about wearing it out over one.
I'm talking about that.
And Dad said that if they never did start the Stone Egg anymore, but
What was in Stone Egg? What was they working at there?
I believe he's working in the
mine.
In the mines,
Yeah,
there,
in the
yeah.
mines,
Just
yeah.
a young boy, just working in the mines.
I would tell you, he couldn't on Uncle Henry Whitaker, that old white horse at home one time. Or not tell you, I'll tell you someday about it. Of course, I guess you may hear it.
No.
You know, back then they didn't have no restrooms like they got now. You just had to get out and know where you get. And
Yeah.
so Henry, he went out there in the barn one day. Sitting there in the barn, that old horse come down, smelled it, and turned around and went kicking at Henry. And that's all he knew, he scaled the wall. Now, this is something funny, or not tell you.
No,
He got hard and Howard. He couldn't speak plain. Henry couldn't say, hey, Howard. Howard said, why don't Henry? Come out there and jotting down Mary's got me bait, he said. Howard went out there, and there hung Henry up beside that wall. His breeches all down and everything. That bar wouldn't let him down. She had him bait up there.
Your dad tell one time that Grandma would get after him and to give him a whooping, and he'd had him a hold. He'd go up my loft, you know. Said, and he passed on, said it'd been about a month before he got her a whooping, and she got after him one day, and he made for that hole, and he'd gained a little weight, and he couldn't get through it, but she poured it on him. He couldn't come out, and he couldn't go for it.
Boy, I remember life what my mother gave me. Uncle John Whitaker. Well, the way everything else happened. And he made me mad one day. And I seen him go down to the post office. And he went back up on an old bay-looking, yellow-looking horse. I said to myself, I'll have me a race out of you and you go back up. Man, I had me a big pile of rocks above the house up there in the fence corner. He come by, boy, I trailed away one. He hit the whole mare on the roots and tail. She went, he kicked up. Come on out throwing John off. And then about the time he looked around, I had me another big rock. Man, I just didn't miss his head. That big rock. And he looked back and he said, all right, young gentleman, said, I'll get you. He didn't have to get me. My mother was looking at me, and she whooped me with a piece of grapevine. That's the lightest whooping I got from my mother, buddy.
Buddy, I tell you what, I seen her do one time, and she was up in years. I mean, she was old, buddy. She was a big woman now, Grandma was.
She's about 300 pounds.
And my brother was a bee. He was a man too, and it was his birthday. And she told him that she's gonna put him under the bed, and he said, "You just can't do it." And she was an old woman. She come in and got him, brother, and jerked him out of a chair and took him in there and jacked that bed up that fur for him, son. She put him in it.
And now, you know, Howard was a right big man too.
Yeah.
And we was talking one day, and Howard said, "My mother can't handle me." And well, she looked over at him, said, "That's what you think." But she outdone him, but he couldn't handle her, man. She was much of a woman.
Her arms right there, buddy, was as big around as my arm.
Oh,
right
yeah.
There, but
She's a big woman, man.
yeah. Stout
And
up
she
there.
worked all her life.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
She done all the carding, spinning. Back then, people had to card the wool and the cotton together,
Yeah.
take and spin it, make thread out of it, and then she'd take it to the looms and weave it and make cloth. And she
Yeah.
said the rest of the girls out playing around, going somewhere, and
Yeah.
her sitting there weaving and carding and spinning the cloth. I'd make them old big Lancy quilts. Well, I made the skirts, clothing out of them. That's all
Yes,
I had to
sir.
wear.
Yeah.
Big Lancy
Yeah.
clothes in.
I heard Victor Cornick say one time whenever he was a dating going to see his wife that he married, he wore a big gown.
Yeah?
Didn't have no breeches, just a big old gown. Said he'd parch him a big skillet of corn, parched corn. You know, and said, be a sitting there talking to her way up in the morning. He said, and he'd reach down in his pockets and get him a bite of that parched corn. He talked funny, you know, said it just like a horse annoyed him.
Yeah, you were talking about wearing a dress and a gown when I was growing up, boy. I remember it mighty well. It was right today. My dad, he went to the store, bought him a pair of overhaul breeches. I don't know. I was about 5 years old then. I didn't know what a pair of breeches was.
Yeah.
They had a little dress come down around here, and it was raining. Well, out there in the drip of the house, I was out there. You know how young I was. I always like playing in water. Man, I was in there dancing up a jig. They told me to come in 2 or 3 times. I didn't come in and put my breeches on. And then finally I had to come out there with a limb. But now I was glad to go in there, and I put them breeches on. They like never got them off of me. I actually got them on then. I wanted to wear them then.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, the good old days is done gone.
It sure
I tell
is.
you, yeah. If it's left to me, I wouldn't even have no rugs or nothing on the floor. I swear I wouldn't.
Well, back then people didn't know what a rug was.
Get a big
And-
gourd and get you a drink of water out of it.
All of them drunk out of the same bucket, out of the same cord.
Yeah.
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 Now, everybody won't even drink after one another anymore now.
I've seen them old men come down Lime Fork there going out to Ovie to the store riding horseback, and they'd stop there at Grandma Campbell's there for dinner.
Uh-huh.
Old man Hand Watts and all of them, and I've seen them, their mustache would float right in a dipper, you know.
Bib of their overhaul was dirty and everything.
Had that ham beer.
Yeah, and the food stuff on the bib of their overhaul. His people, say now, I ought not be talking about my dirty clothes. I come in here last night and Mama said you better put on the
We're talking
dirty
about
clothes
the
and
old
work in the
days.
garden, and I had to change this morning.
They'd have butter and laces strode all over the
Yeah.
bib.
That's true. And they go to church. They go to church barefooted.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have anything about wearing no shoes, nothing. Go to church barefooted.
Yeah. Who was that could bust chestnut burrs off barefooted over there? Jim Watts?
Jim Watts, and the Squire, I guess it was. Jim and the Squire.
They said their heels is tough, but they'd hold chestnuts out with them.
Went barefooted all their lives, through the winter and summer.
That little John up there, he's a little short feller, about 4 foot tall. They told him if he'd ride a big ram up there one Sunday, they'd give him a half a gallon of chestnuts, I believe it was. And he got on that old ram, and his feet like about that much, at the tip of the ground. And they had an old-time log house, and that ram started bucking with him, made a high dive to going on the floor, and this it went on the floor. John's head hit that seal. this knocked him completely out.
Well, I was hired and Leonard Whitaker and Feather Ray. Don't know where Willie was in on it or not. Uncle Sam back, once, and they like to pull pranks on people back then. They went and got a big log, about all three of them compact, sawed it against Uncle Sam's door. Along the night, well, Sam, they got back and got hollering at Sam. Sam, he got up, he got trying to unfasten the door. The door had the old-fashioned door, slat, made out of slat, and old-time hinges on it and everything. Had it latched on the inside of the light, big wooden light, and he got up and he couldn't get it unlatched. He hollered back and said, "Neely!" Said, "What the confound you for done this door here?" It's about that time he got it open. When he done that, that big log boy did hit Sam, the door and everything else in the face, knocked him back halfway to the house, come down there killing him, buddy. They pulled all kind of pranks on one another then.
What is that now?
That's a tractor and trailer where they haul them dozers on. Big truck. These oil wells down here, they took a dozer down where they got these big oil wells and making locations with them and everything. Yeah, they haul them dozers on. And anything you got real heavy, they haul it on that to get it on.
Boy, it looks like they got a good road back in there now.
Got a good road back in there. They say I can drive my car from back on top hill back in there.
Heard kill some squirrels in there, catch them carrying hickory nuts.
Probably could,
Just
yeah.
go
I
back
don't
in.
know. The people in here leave from everywhere in the world, from down below Hazard, head the river, back all through Montgomery Creek. They are in here hunting and everything.
What's back up that road, Morgan? What's
Oil wells, big oil well, gas well, and oil well. I don't guess you ever seen one working, did you? They got pumps to them separators. They pump that oil from the bottom of the well for about 28 to 3,600 feet down. Pump that oil up, and it goes through them separators, and they got trap doors in them separators. That oil gets on them trap doors so much that it trips, and it goes down in the bottom. And then unload that oil off of them doors, them leads come back up. Gas goes straight on through the separator on out into the line, and then the oil drops down and goes back and blows out into the tanks in. I saw them in one of them separators in there. Of course, I never did hook up now and put the automatic gauges on them and everything, but first the drips and all the rest of it, I put all them on it, and them big tanks, hooked them up, and put them on lines and everything in here for 'em. Whole lot of, well, it weren't Bruce work, nothing, it was nasty. Oil, that oil, boy, I've gotten that oil, man, it was pitiful. Your clothes, you could never get it out of your clothes, nothing else. It'd be running, dripping out of your clothes, it would. Or we'd be pulling tubing and running tubing and everything, and wells are flowing. That oil comes out of there, a lot dangerous than the gas you burn in the car in, man. It'd catch a whole lot quicker than the gas you burn in your car. Is this pretty and greenish looking? All have you looked at, boy?
I carried mail in here for a long time, and I see them hit oil down here below Dow's over across the creek. I was coming out, and I ain't never saw none of it before, and I was here coming down up that road just flying as I was hollering, hold it, hold it, hold it, and I didn't know what was wrong, and I stopped, boy, and about the time I stopped, buddy, he come out of there. Oh.
Whenever they drilled in that well out down there, they come up all through and while you got set, or sit out next to it.
You got a great, you see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 5 rows of them.
5 rows of them you have. Yeah, and don't need them either, Lee.
Well, I'll buy me some off of you on sale.
I'll get some when they come in. I thought I got a little tomato plant. I don't know, not letting it be them common because it come up there and I just couldn't take it.
That's what he is, Tommy.
Yeah, that's what I figured. When he gets set, I just want to tell you about these onions here.
Them's about ready to take up, ain't
Yeah, I'm going to take them up today. Now, you talk about these onions now. That's a regular potato. I set them out.
Oh wait, let's start again. We're
Okay.
wrong.
Okay. These are as a regular tater onion. You set them out in the fall of the year. You wait till spring come out, they don't make too good onions. And I'll try to mix them up. Set a big head out, 3 or 4. Go on down, set a little head out. And the big head makes all these sets right there. And the little onion set will make a big head like that. The big head makes sets like this. I'll give you some of them when they like that. I was going down. Now, Lee, I sure is these. Worms is getting in on these here. That's them hybrid cabbage now. And they're soft
big
heads.
ones, ain't you?
Yeah, and down here them, they make big heads. And they're getting hard like it's supposed to. Now, you know what a big head that one makes. And I feel like it's not hard enough. What do you think?
Step
Yeah,
over.
yeah. I think that's
You ever see a catnip?
Yeah.
You?
find out here.
That's pretty fine catnip.
Yeah. See that the worms getting in these here.
You know what I use for them? They got on mine, that liquid 7 in a
That-
spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it burn that
Will it
away.
kill 'em?
Yeah, man.
I got 7 sprays, but nothing else. There's my tomato. That's my good about it. And the whole time they know how to do it.
I need more tape then.